Good afternoon, and welcome to this podcast, this episode of Equip, Empower, and Encourage with Chad Allen. Today, we are going to be discussing smart contracts and why I believe that smart contracts are indeed the way of financial future. Anything that you do, everything that you do, it's going to be a smart contract. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to tell you why and why I believe it. And I'm going to give you an example of a smart contract in a program that I am currently involved in and working with. And so here we go. So you can definitely support me by going to prosperwithchad.com. That's prosperwithchad.com. And you can also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, LinkedIn, um, YouTube, Facebook. If you listen to podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can like and subscribe there as well, and share it with your friends and family. Also, make a comment. Let's chit chat a little bit. All right. So smart contracts. Okay, let's talk about these smart contracts because I really believe that this is really the way of the future. Now we know that the traditional banking system, we know that the traditional way of doing business is that they present a paper contract. And when you have this paper contract, you are signing your name to it. There's pages and pages and pages that you're signing off on, right? And it's a paper, right? Well, there's also a lot of human error that comes along with that when you're talking about these particular when you're talking about the traditional types of contracts, right? You sign a home, and there could be human error that's typed in, right? And so what happens is with that is that you are putting your trust into that particular contract or that particular company. And so if there was something to go wrong, or if the person says, "Hey, I'm not going to honor that contract," then there is a quote unquote breach of contract, right? And then of course you got the court, you got to go to court, you got to do all this other stuff in order to make sure that the contract that you just signed, the traditional contract that you just signed, is indeed enforced. And you're also trying to make sure that there's not clauses in there where where the person who sold you whatever it is that they sold, or you have a contract with, or like a long-term contract, that it wasn't that there's not something in there that they can actually change it anytime they want to. So what does this mean for smart contracts? Now we know that smart contracts is digital, right? So we're working with things that are digital, like a computerized type stuff. And with smart contracts, what you're doing is you are initiating a contract over what is called a blockchain, and that blockchain, you know, it allows for that smart contract to take effect. So with a smart contract, you have very predetermined set of line of code, right? Certain things, it has to meet certain conditions before that smart contract is activated. And if it's not activated, then if that smart contract fails to activate, right? So then if people were trying to put money, like crowdfunding, for example, so if people were trying to put money into to fund a certain thing, but the conditions were never met, well, that money automatically gets returned to those people. The same thing is like when you're talking about, um, if you're on Ethereum, or you're doing a smart contract there, like you bought into a certificate, and that certificate has a predetermined set of conditions, right? Predetermined set of ideas that says, hey, when this is activated, this is going to happen. So, for example, you have a certificate, right? And this certificate, it says that it's going to give you $5,000 at the end of a 24-month term. It's going to pay you weekly 5% of the certificate cost. It's going to pay you 1.5% of the load cost. So with the smart contract, it's already predetermined, right? It's already pre-allocated for you. So what happens is with that particular contract is that every single week, every month, at the end of the 24-month term, you're getting the cash that it was said that it will be given to you. Why? Because it's a smart contract. It's a predetermined contract that is digital within a blockchain, and it is immutable, meaning that it cannot be changed, it cannot be altered, it can nothing can change it, right? So once the contract is activated, no longer can it be changed. That's what happens with a smart contract. And that's why smart contract, in my opinion, is really the way of the future. And if you look at traditional banking systems and whatnot, and they're still using, they're slowly going toward a blockchain that has smart contracts. But a lot of them just continue to use paper, and why? Because it's easy. It's easy to change. It's easy to change conditions, all that good stuff. But once it's smart contract, there's no way to actually change those things. So a smart contract is immutable. It can never be changed. It can never be altered. And it's all and for you to start getting your money back, you have to activate that particular smart contract. That means uh, if there is a predetermined amount of money that is required to allocate to activate that smart contract, and you have to meet that criteria before all of those things are actually activated for you. Now, so not only that, but you also have great security measures there, right? Like there's a lot of security measures that takes place that says if a hacker tries to come in and tries to hack there's a chance of them being able to hack because why there's certain security measures that are in place that allows for that smart contract to be solidified and made golden, right? To be set in stone. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of a I'm going to show you a little bit in my own back office that of an example of a smart contract. And I think that it's really going to help you to have a better understanding. Okay. I have one as one block fully that's fully loaded. I have one that's partially loaded. Okay. You can see the differences. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I'm going to go ahead and add the stream. Okay. So what you see here, let me make this bigger for you. If there's a way to make it bigger, maybe not. Okay. So what you see here is one of my smart contracts, right? With a program that I'm utilizing, okay? You can see that it's 23.3% loaded. All right. I have a weekly reward that's coming up on September 5. Okay. Now, on this particular one, it's called this Blockfolio. It's called a fintech, right? Now it says that I have loaded fully this particular one. So therefore, what am I getting? I am getting 1.5%, okay, monthly, and I'm getting a 5% weekly for 52 weeks, okay? And it shows you where it's expiring. 17 July 2024. This one is expiring on 17 July 2025, okay? And then here you see that at the end of the 24-month term, I'm getting $986.73 in euro, okay? All right, so we have this, right? Now, let's go to the renewable because I only have this one partially loaded. This one's fully loaded, but this one is only partially loaded, okay? Now, if you notice the difference, total value, all this good stuff, right? And it's fully loaded. Now, if you look at the renewable, it's only 39.54% loaded, right? But here, if I load it fully, I get $1,000 USDT value of bonus at the end of 24 months. I'll get 4% on a weekly payback, and let's see, 1.5%. Okay. Now let me ask you, why? So if this is not activated, right? Then I'm not getting these things, right? This 4%, this $1,000, right? I have to load it fully to 100%, the full $250 before it is actually activated. And you'll see this when I go back to my certificates, okay? And then let's see here. I'm going to most load it. Okay, and then we're going down, down, down. See how see these are green right here? This means it's activated, right? But when I get down to this one, it shows this is green, right? It's activated. I get the 5%, the 1.5% off. The payback on this, the 1.5% on the load, and the full amount. Here, it's red. All these are red, and none of these I don't have any money on, so therefore it's not activated. In order for this particular one, this renewable, to be activated, I have to meet a a predetermined amount for it to actually activate, so that I can start getting an additional 4% off of that particular blockfolio. If you see here, it says your weekly payback on the certificate is 5%. But if I were to take this to full 100%, this will actually go to 9%. Why? Because 5% plus 4%. So a smart contract is saying that there is a predetermined thing that you have to do in order for the conditions to be met in order for it to be activated. So I have one that's activated, and I'm getting a weekly pay, and I have another one has not been activated, where I'm not getting a weekly pay or getting the bonus money at the end of the 24 months. Now you can see this because it'll pay weekly, monthly, that kind of thing. So I'll go back to this one. Okay, so you can see when it's fully loaded, then when it's not fully loaded, and then we're gonna go down a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna see like my rewards, right? Now you see everything is on the fintech, right? Fintech, 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 fintech. Nothing has been activated for the renewable because I haven't done anything with it. So you can see compound it back in, withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. It's like clockwork. Every single week, the smart contract is sending me a weekly pay. Every month, the smart contract is sending me a monthly pay. So at the end of the 24-month period, it's also going to send me my reward, cashback reward at the end of 24 months, which is 986.73 euro plus the load back. Now, if I didn't meet that condition, then obviously none of this would be activated. But because it's activated and it's immutable and it cannot be changed whatsoever, this right here is guaranteed to me to come back to me. Why? Because it's already predetermined, pre-located, and everything is there. Whereas on this renewable, I haven't fully loaded it yet, right? So therefore, on this particular one, it is not the predetermined conditions are not met for the smart contract, and therefore I will not get the $1,000 USDT back. I will not get the 4% on a weekly payback, and I can't even get the promotional load if I didn't load this at all, right? Or the 1.5% over a 30-month period. I cannot, under any circumstances, get this particular money from the renewable blockfolio back to me because I have not yet fully loaded and met the predetermined conditions to in order for these things to come back to me. So so understanding that and knowing that, we know that this that these things, it's the best way to actually, it's the best way to ensure that you have the trustworthiness, the security, everything else that's coming back to you. Smart contracts are the way of the future because it's the most secure way for any financial business to be conducted, because it can never be changed, it can never be altered, ever. No one can ever go in and change these things in order for it to be have a different set of conditions put on them, right? So I hope this helps you in understanding smart contracts and understanding how they work and why they work, and how they are the most secure form of a financial planner for you, where you can actually, if you're putting your money into a smart contract, it's predetermined and it comes back to you regardless of what is going on, because all those things are actually pre-located and predetermined for you. And if you don't meet those conditions, then none of that is being met. So you need to just get your money back, and then once it comes up to a certain time frame, and then boom, back to you. So you have to meet those conditions for the smart contract to be to be activated, versus one that you don't meet the predetermined conditions and it's not actually activated for you. So I want to thank you for being on. Thank you, Michael, for your participation as well, and I'm glad that you got that you thought it was excellent info. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday, because Friday is another day episode of Equip, Empower, and Encourage with Chad Allen. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. You take care. Bye bye.